My channel name is Amazing Story House. Please subscribe my channel. Title of its story. She was just serving food, until the general saw her raven tattoo. The remaining part can follow after this. Camp Ironclad was one of the most secure military bases in the southern United States. Deep in the desert, surrounded by barbed wire fences, steel gates, and constant surveillance, it was the last place anyone expected a secret to unfold, especially not in the mess hall. Emily Rivera had been working in the base kitchen for 4 months. Just a civilian contractor, 24 years old, quiet, polite, and reliable. She served trays with a smile, wore her hair in a low bun, and followed all the rules. Most assumed she was just another face in the crowd, there for a paycheck and nothing else. But Emily had a secret. On her left shoulder blade, hidden beneath her plain white t-shirt, was a tattoo, a black raven, wings spread wide, etched in clean ink. It wasn't just a bird. It was a symbol. A code. And only a handful of people in the military ever knew what it meant. She had gotten it 5 years ago in a different life, a life she thought she had left behind forever. One afternoon, the dining hall was unusually quiet. A convoy had just returned from an off-base mission, and a few high-ranking officials had joined the meal. Among them was General Robert Kincaid, a legend in his own right, feared, respected, and rarely seen in public. Emily served trays as usual, her movements practiced. She didn't expect anything different. That is, until she felt someone's eyes on her. The general. He was staring. Not in a disrespectful way, but with sharp recognition, like he had just seen a ghost. Emily turned slightly, puzzled. "Excuse me," he said, stepping forward. "Your name?" "Emily Rivera, sir," she replied, quickly straightening her posture. The general didn't smile. He looked closer. "Left shoulder. May I?" Emily froze. Around them, a few soldiers glanced over, curious but unsure what was happening. With a quiet breath, she nodded and turned. Slowly, she pulled the collar of her shirt down just enough to reveal the edge of the raven tattoo. The general's face changed immediately. "Where did you get that?" he demanded, his voice suddenly cold. "It was authorized," she said carefully. "By Colonel Mason. 5 years ago. Operation Silent Cry." General Kincaid motioned discreetly for 2 nearby soldiers to clear the area. The dining hall quieted even more as the remaining personnel realized something serious was happening. Emily stood still, her heart pounding. She had never expected this day to come. Not here. Not now. "Walk with me," the general said. They exited through the back corridor into a quiet hallway that led to a small debriefing room. Once inside, he closed the door and activated the soundproof mode. Emily stood at attention, just like she had been trained to all those years ago. "I need to know everything," he said. "From the moment you disappeared." Emily nodded, her voice steady but low. "After Operation Silent Cry fell apart, I was given direct orders to scatter. We were told the mission had been compromised from the inside. I escaped through the tunnels in Sector 7 and made it to a contact in El Paso. He helped me vanish." The general's eyes darkened. "We lost 12 men that night. And all intel was erased. But you survived." "Barely," she said again. "I was just a scout. But I saw who betrayed us. I saw the mark on his wrist." General Kincaid leaned in. "The mark?" Emily nodded and pulled a worn notebook from her small side pouch. "I've kept notes. For 5 years. Every piece of the puzzle I've uncovered." Inside were sketches, coordinates, names, many crossed out, until one remained at the bottom, Colonel Royce Mather. Kincaid's face turned stone cold. "He's still active," Emily said. "And he's on his way here." Kincaid stood up immediately, alert. Why now? Why this base? I think he knows I'm alive. And he wants to finish what he started. The general took a long breath, then reached for his comms. This conversation doesn't leave this room. Until we verify everything. Emily stopped him. There's more, she said. The raven tattoo, it wasn't just a mark for us. It was a fail-safe. A hidden code embedded in the ink. Coordinates to a vault buried under the base. Kincaid stared. What kind of vault? The one holding the real mission files. Proof of what happened. And who was involved. For a moment, silence filled the room. Then Kincaid nodded. Come with me. They moved swiftly through restricted corridors to the underground archives sector of Camp Ironclad. Soldiers saluted as the general passed, unaware of the storm brewing beneath the calm. Finally, they reached an